Hey you guys, it's Robin and I am back. I've been gone for a few weeks, but I'm basically going to be going over some of the things that I really want to talk about having to do with Marco's future in Svtfoe. But first, I really want to give you guys a warning. If you hear any distracting noises, that's my mom in the other room preparing for Christmas, you know, wrapping presents. As the day before Christmas Eve, I mean, I really can't judge because I haven't wrapped anything either, so I'm really going to get on this after I make this video. But let's get into my first topic. So, you know, there's no denying this soundtrack. It's like rain. Okay, so there's no denying, like, there's something big is going to happen, like, with Marco. A huge plot twist. I mean, we know for sure that Star and Marco's souls are bonded. I mean, it was obvious, like, he literally said their souls were bonded in, Deep Dive, and, I mean, he literally has the blood moon on his cheeks, and then there's also that whole thing about him going dark, you know, maybe him having some connection to the butterfly family, and I will get into that. But first, I really want to talk about their souls being bonded, and, I really think that, yes, their souls were bonded during the blood moon, but there is even something before that that really bonded their souls even before the blood moon. And I kind of went back and watched Storm the Castle, and there's a lot of details that connect to that theory, but I realized that this freaking horse, Star's horse, you know, kind of dies in this episode, and this horse basically just comes out of nowhere and, you know, creates that half and half one that represented Marco and Star on the other side, and I realized this horse is Marco's horse. I mean, we've seen how he has the ability to have cheek marks, and I think this is like his horse. So I'm going to be reading what this horse says, and note that it is in Spanish. So that's another thing that kind of relates to Marco. But this is what he says. When I was a baby horse, Mama told me the day will come. And it's interesting he said, Mama told me the day will come, because just earlier in that episode, you know, rewatching it, I realized that when Toffee is threatening Star, he tells her, it's the first spell your mother taught you. And that sounded really similar to what this mysterious horse says about how his mother told me the day will come. So I think Moon may know something about this whole, you know, almost kind of prophecy about Marco and Star. Mainly about Marco, though. So he grabs his horn and he says, when I will be called upon to fulfill a responsibility greater than myself. And it's interesting, he puts the horn on. So before he was kind of just like a horse, and now he's like a unicorn. And that really relates to Marco, because Marco is just a human, you know, and then it seems like he's going to maybe have some monster qualities, maybe some human qualities now with the magic, and I think that really relates to this horse putting on that unicorn horn. Greater than this dimension, for me, that day is today, and that created this half and half wand. And I've talked about before, if you guys didn't already know, this wand is definitely the the darker side representing Marco and the yellow side representing Star. And you know, he says this for me, that this day is today, and it creates this half and half wand, which really relates to Marco and Star being two halves of a whole. And then there's like Marco wipes the mirror, and I mean, it's such a foreshadow to his relationship with Toffee that's unknown to the audience yet. There's a lot of stuff about Toffee knowing about Marco and having some connection with Marco. You know, he says that he doesn't want the wand for the magic, and he kind of smiles when the wand's being destroyed, and then find out that he's just inhabiting this other wand that was created. And I'm one of those people that think that Ludo's wand, the true holder of that wand, was Marco, because it was the other half of Star's wand. But I mean, oh, I just realized something. When Star creates the new wand, the third wand, both the pieces, I believe both the pieces from Ludo's wand and the pieces from Star's old wand come together to create that one wand, and maybe that's why Marco had the ability to use it. I just realized that now. But yeah, and I really think Toffee knew something about Marco, and it was like in his plan. There's some relationship, and you know, when he died, he said that he was the only one who knew how this all turned out. That really, you know, if you want to see more about this, I really go into it a lot in Marco's Monster Fate I made quite a while ago, but I really go into how Toffee is connected to Marco. This video is almost like a second part of that. But yeah, I think there's some characters that really knew about this kind of part of Marco. It's almost like a prophecy. And I mean, it has to be Toffee, Moon, even Glossric, because remember in The Hard Way, Toffee says to Glossric, you'll never get him on your side. And I think that he was talking about Marco, like I touched on in Marco's Monster Fate. But yeah, so many things could happen to Marco. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a huge plot twist in Season 3 or Season 4. You know, kind of giving the backstory and kind of dropping the bomb to the fans about what's really going on with Marco. We know for sure that Marco and Star's souls are bonded. I'm like 100% sure about that. But obviously he has some connection either to like the butterfly family or you know, this monster magic part of him that's unknown to the audience, and I'm really excited to see that. But that's all I have to talk about with Marco's future. I really would like you guys to follow me on Instagram, because I post updates about Star Versus, about my channel, and I also post my favorite fan art from different artists and also my own fan art. So if you want to see that, you can go check that out. But that is all I have. So talk to me about what you think is going to happen to Marco in the future of the series, and give me a like if you like this video, and then subscribe if you want to see more of my content. So bye you guys, and happy holidays.